All right, all right, all right, all right. I was actually done with my video until I just saw that a juror from the Amber Heard Johnny Depp trial actually came out. He answered a couple of questions. He wants to stay anonymous, but he did
So
answer a
today was
couple
my
of questions.
last
So let
day
me
of
see if I
being
can just
here.
do this real quick. I just want to see the
So
comment
today was
section without listening to this first. Uh, Man, why can't I? Okay, did he? Okay, all right, guys. You guys can see me perfect. You guys can see me good. All right, so I just pulled it out. I just wanted to make sure that I wasn't seeing anything weird. Imagine. All right, so this is an actual juror from the Johnny Depp Amber Heard trial. These are his thoughts. I'm going to link his TikTok at the bottom. Who knows? Maybe he will answer some of your questions. Let me see if I can make this a little bit bigger. Uh, well, that's a little bit bigger for myself. Okay, so let's read this one. Okay, so okay, first question. What was your reaction when her dog stepped on a bee? She seemed to just be pulling stories out of the air at that point. I'm glad that they actually noticed that because it was pretty despicable. Come on, people. Anyone could make a video saying they were one of the jurors. The world is a better place with the curiosity and being speculative. Being speculative about information is one of the best things about science. So I guess that's someone kind of just questioning the validity of him being here. I'm just going to answer actual questions. Okay, it was killing me to know if the jury was uncomfortable with Amber's stare down. I was uncomfortable just watching it on TV. I felt bad for you guys. Could not even look at her anymore. Damn. How did you feel about how did you feel with the pledge versus donate? 100% could not admit she was wrong in anything. That is what sealed it for me. Camille did a great job. I'm so happy to pay attention to that. And one of the things that I heard was that the jurors were actually paying a lot of attention when Camille was asking her questions. It was probably the most interesting part of the whole trial, in my opinion, from them, because getting seeing someone getting demolished is probably really interesting. Have you seen Elaine Bertahoff interviews about the trial? I have not. I'll look it up soon. My head is already about to explode from this trial. Gonna need a bit of a break. I agree. Uh, what is the moment, evidence, testimony that cemented your final decision? For me, when she lied about donating money to charity. Da-da-da. Uh, what do you think about Dr. Smeagol? He was quite a character. I did not realize he made all those weird faces until after seeing the video, but he was definitely not definitely an interesting person. That was a doctor that basically analyzed Johnny by watching movies. Why 10 mil and not 50? Unrealistic amount, and not all the jurors agreed on amounts. Found a happy medium. I actually agree that's what actually happened. Um, were all were the jurors all on Johnny's side, or did you guys have to find a compromise? Found a compromise. I think there was one Amber Heard supporter in there. I'm gonna continue looking it down. Interesting. I was wondering if the jurors would be able to pick up on her without TikTok analysis. That's not me. That's her. TikTok analysis. That's what she meant. LOL. Good work. 100%. Uh, Were you surprised to see how much everything blew up on social media over the course of the trial? Friends and family had told me, but I stayed off social media as I do not really use it much. Anyways, I wanted to be a fair juror. Honorable. Okay. So this girl asks, is this fact or cap? I don't know if I believe this. If you want to remain anonymous, TT will blow your cover. One is in Olympic National Park. One is in Yosemite National Park. Highly recommend going life changing places. I guess some people are kind of questioning it. Also, also what was the other juror's reaction to her constantly looking over at you, and thoughts on Dr. Spiegel? It seemed incredibly unnatural, and it's hard to have someone constantly look at you when you cannot talk back to them. Uh, oh, interesting. Thank you. Just one question. Why give her the one win? Not all jurors agreed. It was a compromise. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was one Amber supporter, that bitch. Question: can you give any insight as to why you found Amber in Amber's favor on one statement? P.S. Thank you. It was a compromise. The jury has to be unanimous. I was all in favor of that 100%. They actually don't. If they didn't agree, that it could actually be a hung jury. But I was told from other lawyers that juries don't actually know that, so they often kind of just come into a conclusion because they feel they don't have a way out. Um, Thank God he didn't know because I didn't want Amber to win. Were you paid? In Spain, we make the jurors stay in hotels until the trial is over and they cannot go to work. I have a great employer who paid the entire time. Then he probably enjoyed himself then. So more of you couldn't agree on an amount. It's a bunch of questions here, and I'm trying to kind of go down a little bit. Let me see if I find something special. Was it easy for everyone in the jury to come to the decision, or did it take some convincing? It took convincing one juror. It was one. I knew it was fucking one. When you got in the deliberation room, was there an immediate consensus that nobody believed her, or did some jurors think she was being honest? 95% was ready to make it their decision. We ended up having to compromise with the amount owed. It was not too bad of a deliberation. Did you and the jury think Johnny physically abused her at all? Yes, we did, but did not believe he was that instigator and not to the extent she abused them. Yeah, I agree. If he did anything, I'm 100% sure that she probably started it. Uh, yeah. Interesting. I won't read that one. That's kind of like nonsense. Let me see if I can go back and maybe find one more and then kind of look at his videos real quick. Uh, Okay, I can't find anything else. I'm gonna leave a link to his TikTok so you guys can search around, maybe find a couple of extra questions that I didn't see. Let's watch this clip from him, and let me make sure that you guys can actually hear it this time.
Whole trial, and I was scrolling through
Okay.
after the trial,
Give me
and
a second, guys. Give me a second. I'm
blows
trying
my
really
mind
hard,
on
but sometimes
how
it's
every single person seemed to be commenting on how weird it was. So,
okay. I'm gonna start from the
uh,
beginning. Here you go.
so today was my last day of being a juror on the Amber Heard Johnny Depp trial, and I wish to remain anonymous, but I thought I'd give some insight on my thoughts about the trial. Um, I don't follow pop culture too much, so I haven't really been a fan of Johnny Depp or Amber Heard, so I feel I was able to be pretty unbiased about the whole thing. But from the very beginning, when Amber Heard was testifying, everything just seemed so off with how she kept making eye contact with me, and it made me extremely uncomfortable to where I would no longer look over at her when she was giving her answers. I would just listen intently, and everything she was saying came off like bullshit. And I wasn't following anything on TikTok during the whole trial, and I was scrolling through after the trial, and blows my mind on how every single person seemed to be commenting on how weird it was. So, uh, good news for Johnny Depp. That was my gut feeling after all the information in the trial. But Amber Heard, what a crazy woman.
Okay, so I think he has two more.
I'm trying to view this from a place of empathy and understanding. I'm not sure if you guys noticed how much Amber Heard was gaslighting Johnny Depp. She could have never admit she was wrong, and you can even tell with how she spoke, to him in the recording. She never admitted she really did anything, and she carried that on to the trial. And I feel like we as humans naturally take our own personal truths to the grave when we can't admit we were wrong. So I feel that's what her team's doing now is doing a smear campaign to not admit that they were guilty, because if they were to just kind of cower down and accept the verdict in a way to the public eye, it can be seen as an admission of guilt, So I think this is just their way of trying to, claw and tooth their way into, trying to save dignity in some form for Amber Heard.
All right, let me read this one. Did the jurors pick up on the fact that Amber initially denied the op-ed was about JD, but then she completely admitted it during her final testimony? Just we did. Did the jury notice she never shed a real tear? Yes, they noticed that. Good. What did you think of Duster? Yeah, read one like yeah, read something like that. So, oh, off topic. But do y'all think Isaac Baruch was a gem as well? I love him. He was by far the best, straight to the point, no bullshit. Did you notice the Bruce kid? There was yeah, he didn't notice that one. Oh, this is interesting. Thank you for sharing this. Were there moments in the trial that helped you see who was the actual victim here? Yes. She reminded me of my ex, how she used to gaslight. I trusted my gut. This is one of the things that I'm 100% sure messed up Amber, and it was the stupid ass doctor that was completely biased. And I wonder if that doctor rubbed him the wrong way, and the whole gaslighting thing, never admitting that she was wrong. Yeah, I think that the cherry was the one that really annoyed him clearly. Which lawyer do you think did the best and convinced you the most? Camille by far. We were so scared since you were not allowed to go to social media. Has anything you've seen after the trial shocked you? Just how funny all the edits are, because I all I saw was 100 hours of unedited debating, puts it into perspective, the court of public opinion. Did you notice that the text messages about Molly was incoming to Johnny's phone rather than outgoing? Just ooh, they notice. They notice. Yo, I actually gotta take a picture of that. Oh, some of you guys are wondering, Jose, why the fuck are you doing this? So what ended up happening was that long story short, this side doesn't work. So I have to take a picture like this on everything. I get a new phone. But ain't nobody trying to spend $1,000 on a stupid ass phone. Did any of the jurors believe Amber? Will not say believe her, but saw it as they thought both were guilty of defaming each other. Morgan Tremaine. Who says Morgan Tremaine? Uh, they were going for a statement. Okay. All right. So let me go to the next one, and I think we're going here.
$2 million in this case for a couple different reasons. If you remember, she was also suing Johnny Depp in this trial for defamation due to statements made by Johnny's lawyers, who were stating that Amber roughed up the apartment to make it look way worse for police. Unfortunately, the fact of her doing that or not doing that cannot be proven, but it could prove that it did defame her in ways due to those statements made by Johnny's lawyers. So you might be wondering, why not just award Johnny 13 million instead of 15 million and giving Amber 2 million? And it just comes down to accountability and holding both parties accountable for what was done wrong, which brought this case up. So Amber Heard was awarded.
Interesting. I like this one. I'm curious how y'all came up with the number of 50 million. I honestly thought it would have been more. He would have made that from Disney alone. Managers wanted to award the 50 million. Sometimes in life we have to compromise. So that tells me kind of everything that I wanted to know. So I think Johnny was probably going to earn a lot more, but I'm pretty sure there was one person that was not going to allow it. I probably believe that they both abused each other, but in reality, they both want to abuse each other. I mean, they both probably abused each other in some way, but not in the horrific way. So that she did herself in, man. She did herself in. I just knew that her hyperbolic way of telling the stories were gonna do her in the end. If she would have kept this simple Steven, she probably would have won a lot more. She probably would have won the whole thing, in my opinion. If she probably didn't even do the whole counterclaim BS, she probably would have gotten away with it. But you get greedy. It is what it is. I so glad and so happy that they noticed the BS um, incoming conversation that they knew it was not from Johnny. All right, guys. So that is it. I'm gonna end this podcast. Not podcast. This whatever the fuck this is. I'm gonna go play Wizard 101, and I'm gonna talk to you guys later.